I'm Sarah. I own Rising A Equine, and we focus on horsemanship methods and a little more of just horse training mechanics, psychology behind horses, why they do what they do, and we just like to chat about some methods and ideas that go along with what you're trying to accomplish with your horse. Can you be a little more quiet, please? So, the topic I wanted to discuss today is letting your horse be responsible for themselves. What I mean by that is you don't have to be holding your horse in all the time or necessarily even guiding them all the time. So, an example would be say you're just colt starting and you want them to hold the same gait. So you want them to stay in a trot without having to ask them to trot. And then they break themselves down or ask them to trot and they speed themselves up. You want them to be responsible for themselves at some point. Yeah, there's a learning process to everything, but at some point they're going to have to do it themselves. You don't want to have to guide them away from the gate every time you go past it. You want them to be able to commit to a decision and realize, okay, that's not the right decision. I'm going to be responsible for myself about this topic. So an example on how you could work with that would be if your horse is cutting to the gate or cutting to a friend, let that horse make the mistake. Let them get all the way there and then work them. Move their feet. Work them at the spot that they want to go. And when they decide on their own, maybe this isn't the best spot to be, take the pressure off of them. Let them realize that the better place to be is where you're actually trying to get them in the first place. And another example, if your horse is running off, I see a lot of times people have some really hot horses, horses that have a lot of go or just too much forward motion, even in the more refined stages, and they're having to hold their horse back all the time. If your horse wants to run, and this can be dangerous if you have a freaking horse that's a runaway, but let them commit to that decision. Sometimes that's a necessary response. And let them realize, okay, I'm going to run, I'm going to run. They're going to be so excited at first. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. Yay, I'm getting to do what I want to do. Once they finally mentally get to that spot where they're tired, make them keep running. Say, no, this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to run, so let's run. Make them commit to that until it's your decision. All right, let's stop. Sometimes that takes multiple sessions of that, letting that horse make that mistake and letting them realize it's not the right one. So that's just kind of a concept that I have with horses. I don't want to be holding my horses in all the time. Can't be stuck on a plow rein forever. At some point, your horse is going to have to know the cue, make the decision, and be responsible for themselves with that. That can carry over to collection, that can carry over to committing to a spin and having a hard one, committing to something and being responsible for it themselves as a horse. So thanks for staying and listening to this topic. Let me know if there's something upon evaluating your horse and listening to what I had to say here that you can help your horse be responsible for on their own. As always, if you're having questions with your horse, feel free to reach out in the DMs and we can discuss maybe some things that might help. I'm always willing to lend advice or just chat about topics that you find interesting. I also do FaceTime sessions. If anyone needs specific one-on-one training, whether I have my own horse in the round pen and I can show you a example of how to fix something hands-on, we're willing to do that. Or if you like educational or just interesting discussions like this, hit us with a follow and we will be posting more.